Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our May Evergreen Health Forum. This is our NAMI Eastside's educational forum presented by our sponsor, Evergreen Health. And this evening, myself and Mark will be representing NAMI Eastside for Mental Health Awareness Month, which the whole month of May has been Mental Health Awareness Month. And for that, we wanted to talk a little bit about our organization, NAMI Eastside, who we are and what we do. So my name is Emma Giri. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Community Engagement Specialist here at NAMI Eastside, and I'm joined by Mark.
Hi, everyone. Marc Oommen. I'm the Executive Director. My pronouns are he, him, and excited to talk with everybody about NAMI and what we do.
All right, so to get us started, I'll share a content overview. This is what we'll be chatting about tonight. We'll go over our mission and history as an organization, talk about our staff, the programs that we offer, some upcoming events and volunteer opportunities. We'll also give some contact information, how to find us, and finally we can close with a Q&A. And if at any time questions come up during the presentation, please feel free to pop them in the chat and we can address those as they come up. So to start, for those unfamiliar with NAMI Eastside, we are a grassroots 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our chapter or our affiliate here began in 2001. There are more than 600 local affiliates of the National Alliance for Mental Illness nationwide, so across the country, and we are one of the 19 affiliates here in Washington State, and we specifically serve the east side of King County. So on the right side of the screen, we have some of the cities and towns that we serve. However, we are always open to working in our neighboring areas, neighboring counties, and supporting works of other NAMI folks across the area. And our mission here at NAMI Eastside is to provide advocacy, education, and support and public awareness so that all people impacted by mental illness and mental health conditions can lead healthy and productive lives. Now, I always like to give a caveat with that last phrase, productive lives. We may all have our own connotations or ideas of what productive means. And here at NAMI Eastside, we don't believe in prescriptive, like one size fits all with mental health. So if whatever productive looks like for someone, then that is wonderful, and we want to support them in that.
Thanks, Emma. A little bit about NAMI's history. So, NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, was started by families in the 1970s, specifically 1979. They started almost simultaneously across the country. They're mainly in Wisconsin and also in Washington State. Um, Families came together to talk about their loved ones who were facing serious mental illnesses, and they saw that there was a lack of support in the community to support their recovery, as well as the family members themselves. So they joined other families to form the first grassroots mental health organization, advocacy organization in the United States. And NAMI is the largest grassroots organization throughout the country. And so the mission of NAMI is similar to NAMI Eastside, and it's to provide support, educate the public, and advocate for improved research and services for those affected by mental illness. And NAMI also aims to build better lives for the millions of people impacted by mental health conditions. So, from today, as Emma said, NAMI has grown to over 600 affiliates across the country. In Washington, we have about 19. I think we're approaching 20 or 21 right now affiliates across the state. That includes our state affiliate, which is our state organization that manages our volunteer trainings. We are at the very grassroots as NAMI Eastside, a local affiliate. And as I mentioned, there's about 19 or 20 local affiliates across the state, from Spokane to Vancouver to Bellingham and everywhere in between. So with NAMI Eastside's history, we actually started, there was not an affiliate in East King County. There was an affiliate in Seattle, and they represented basically greater Seattle area as well as King County as a whole. And then in 2001, families came together and decided that there was a big barrier getting the services that they needed by having to go across Lake Washington to get support, to get educational classes and presentations. And so they formed NAMI Eastside in 2001. And so now NAMI Eastside has been in existence. We just had or we're about to have our 25th anniversary next year, which is very exciting. We've grown from a small affiliate to one of the larger affiliates in the state, serving thousands of people every year. We are housed at the Together Center in Redmond, where we've been for a number of years. We're currently in the brand new campus. It's still brand new, even though it's been around for a couple of years. And so we welcome folks to come and stop by. The Together Center is a great campus with service providers across three buildings as well as affordable housing. So we welcome folks to come and say hi to NAMI Eastside, but also we'd love to show you around so you can find other opportunities to connect with community providers and resources.
All right, thanks, Mark. So I'll go over some of our staff members. Obviously, tonight you're meeting Mark and myself, but we have a really wonderful staff here we'd like to introduce you to. So starting with Mark, as he introduced himself at the beginning, he is the executive director, and Mark is a great person to get in contact with regarding any public policy and fundraising issues. If you're interested, we'll plug volunteering with us later. But if you're just a concerned or supportive community member and you want to chat about things happening in the community, public policy and fundraising is definitely under Mark's wheelhouse. We also have Jason Cunningham, who is our operations manager, and Jason is a great person to get in contact for all things just day to day in our office. Also, folks are looking for any internship opportunities and some events as well. Jason supports. We also have Edie Myers-Power, who is our program manager. So later we'll talk about some of our programs, including the classes and educational opportunities that we offer. And Edie is the head of a lot of those programs. So anything related to youth programs, classes, and presentations will be under Edie. Then we have Lena Bernal. She is our housing and support group coordinator. We'll also talk about the support groups that we offer, which is one of our, major programs. We're very proud of the success of the support groups, and we really couldn't do that all without Lena. So if you're interested in learning more about support groups or what it takes to become a facilitator of one of these programs, I would absolutely recommend reaching out to her. Next, we have myself. So, as I said, I'm the community engagement specialist. I'm a great person to reach out to in terms of general volunteering, as well as mental health resources and resource navigation. So, if folks in the community have any questions about, where to find certain things or to learn more about a specific mental health condition, I am more than happy to connect folks to those resources. Laura Fulmer, who's our marketing manager. So anything communications and social media here at NAMI Eastside is Laura. Then we also have Romy Romero and Amanda Castillo, who are both the facilitators of our bilingual program. So Romy is the program coordinator. We really wouldn't have our NAMI and Espanol programs without her. And then Amanda is our programs assistant, who has been incredibly helpful this year in expanding the role of these Spanish programs. So again, in a moment, we'll talk about the programs that are available, but just so you know, if you're interested in anything related to the Spanish-speaking community or any programs like that, Romy is the person to reach out to. And last but not least, we have three non-permanent staff members. They're AmeriCorps members who are with us and facilitate a training called Mental Health First Aid. So Janelle, Adam, and Hannah are our three incredible, well-trained, well-versed mental health first aid facilitators. We'll talk a little bit about this program as well in just a moment. And so if you sign up for any one of these presentations, you are more than likely to meet one or two of these three wonderful folks.
Thanks, Emma. So as a independent 501(c)(3), NAMI, the way it's structured, there's different models of local affiliates, and we're an independent organization. Other affiliates are actually programs of our state organization. We are governed by a board of directors like a typical nonprofit. These fine folks that you see on your screen are our board of directors. We have up to 15 board of directors who are really our lead ambassadors and really help us govern the organization and are present in the community. And so we have a great group of dedicated volunteers in them that represent a lot of diverse backgrounds and perspectives, from private sector experience to public sector, as well as nonprofit work, and just genuinely passionate people, every single one of them, in our mission in serving folks in the community and improving mental health across the East Side. So just a few numbers to throw out there about 2024. So these numbers are representative of last year. We served over 1,000 students who we provided with mental health education. So we do presentations, which we'll talk about in that section of the program. Where we go out to schools and we talk about what signs and symptoms of a mental health condition looks like, what are some strategies to support a peer or a family member, as well as what resources exist. We provide support groups. We have, I think we're at about 15, typically 15 or more support groups meeting every single month, or individual support groups. And they can range in terms of their meeting cadence, whether that's once a month, every other week, or 2 times a week or a month, or once a week. And so we had 2020 or 2,220 attendees at our support groups over the last year, as well as 1,480 attendees at our educational program. So again, we'll talk more about that, but that includes our classes as well as other presentations we do in the community. So overall, we are one of the largest, if not the largest, affiliate in Washington when it comes to service, and we're really proud of those numbers that we deliver on.
Okay, so we've shared that we have programs, but what programs do we have? How can people participate in NAMI Eastside? And so one aspect of this, as part of our mission as well, is advocacy and awareness. It's a huge part to raise awareness and understanding in our community about mental health, and that it is an issue. It's something everyone has, just like physical health. And so we do that through our advocacy and awareness programs. One way folks can participate is to attend our monthly public policy committee. So this is just a meeting that happens once a month to chat about public policy issues related to mental health in our community, whether that be more at the local government level as well as statewide, and all things going on related to that. There's a course folks can take in preparation for an event called Volunteer Lobby Day, which we participate in every year. And the course for that is called NAMI Smarts for Advocacy. So if you've never participated in a lobby day before, this is a really amazing opportunity for community members to meet one-on-one with their representatives, or to meet in a group with their representatives to talk about the issues that are important to them. So people lobby for many different issues, but of course here at NAMI Eastside, we talk about mental health and what's important there. And a really important part of lobbying is telling your story. And so NAMI Smarts for Advocacy is a program that folks can participate in preparation for lobbying in order to understand how the system works, what it's going to look like when you go to talk with your representative, and also how to craft a story so that we can do our best in advocating for the positive changes we want to see around mental health in our community. And last but not least, we also have NAMI Walks, which we'll plug a little bit because it's happening this weekend. NAMI Walks is a wonderful awareness event. It's a great fundraising opportunity as well. But more than anything, we just want folks to get together, talk about mental health, and be out in some sunshine together, because we know that that helps mental health a lot too. So it's an annual event to raise awareness for our organization, and it's happening. We'll share details later again, but it's happening this Saturday at Magnuson Park in Seattle, and we'd really love for as many people to come as possible and show up and support. All right, we also have educational programs, like some of these numbers that Mark talked about just a moment ago are pulled from these educational programs. There are classroom presentations that we go out into community. Volunteers who are trained on these topics go into community to teach these, and we have them for different grade levels. So Meet Little Monsters, a presentation designed for elementary school students to talk about their emotions. Ending the Silence is designed for middle school and high school students to end stigma around mental health, ending the silence, to share and speak out about your story, to ask for help and what some of those signs look like. And In Our Own Voice is designed for adult audiences. Similarly to Ending the Silence, it's an opportunity for someone with lived experience to share what it has been like for them and how they have gone on a healing journey and what that may look like for their unique experience. Then there are also courses that people can participate in. So these are courses that, they're not just one presentation, rather they may happen over a period of time. Usually our courses last about 8 weeks, but it may depend on the presenter. So NAMI Basics is a course available online for free that anyone can take at any time. This is a great place to start if you feel like you're just getting your feet under you when it comes to mental health and understanding what that is and what it looks like. So NAMI Basics is a great one available on our website and the NAMI National website. Then we have our family to family and peer to peer courses. These are, as the name suggests, we think of folks either as kind of family or peer. And family we use really broadly. This is anyone who knows, loves, cares about a person with a mental health condition. So if someone wants to learn about how to support their family member, they can take a family to family course. And same with peer, so that's someone who they themselves are experiencing a mental health condition or mental health crisis, things like that. And they want to take a course on learning how to support themselves better in their mental health journey and that healing journey. We offer a course called Safe Talk Suicide Prevention. We're going to have, I believe there's one coming up in August that folks can participate in. So we'll have some materials coming up for that towards the end of the summer. And then we also have mental health first aid, which I plugged earlier, our three wonderful trainers, Janelle, Adam, and Hannah. This is a course that it's not a NAMI educational course, but we are offering it through a partnership with the Healthy Minds Alliance to get folks certified in mental health first aid. Just like you might take a course for first aid to assist someone who's having like a physical emergency before paramedics or 911 gets to the scene. Mental health first aid is designed to do that as well, but rather with someone's mental health than their physical health. What can we do in the meantime to help someone come down from crisis or before professionals get to the scene? So this is a course that folks can take and they get a certificate at the end of it if they complete all the required coursework. So we'll have some information about how people can sign up for this as well. We also have our Youth Ambassadors program. So this youth program is a way for young people to get involved with mental health in their community. This is for folks anywhere from ages like 14 to 25 is considered youth. And so folks can participate. They can participate in our annual Youth Mental Health Conference, which we just had back in March, which was wonderful. So every year these students help prepare, they do research, they do projects, and they present those findings or that material at that conference. Last and certainly not least, we have a new educational course that we are offering called Calm. This is a de-escalation course that we have adapted from our wonderful friends at NAMI Southwest Washington. They created this training and we have taken it to be able to present. We just presented this with our folks at Bellevue City Hall. So this is an opportunity for people, wherever they work or in whatever situation, to learn a little bit more about how to create a calm environment to de-escalate when someone may be in crisis or struggling with their mental health.
Great. So, a big thing that we do at NAMI across the country and here at the East Side is support. So, we create spaces for folks to come together to talk about their mental health journey, whatever struggles they may be going through at that time, get support and a sympathetic ear from somebody who has been there, and as well as a space for family members. And at NAMI, we use the most expansive definition of family that you could possibly use, which is basically anybody that cares about somebody with a mental health condition. So you don't have to be by blood that person that you are supporting, and you yourself don't have to be somebody with a diagnosed mental health condition. You can literally just be somebody who's struggling and want to talk about it. And so we create these spaces for support. We have our connection support groups, which are our peer support groups. And that we have different versions of that, both virtual and in person. We have some that are focused on bipolar disorder. We have had others that have been focused on depression. We have groups that are peer focused that support women in transitional housing or who have lived with the experience of living in a transitional housing situation, to also supporting folks who have gone through some of our programs, such as our Cope to Thrive program, where folks can talk about the skills that they have learned in Cope to Thrive, around cognitive behavioral therapy skills, and talk about how that's going for them. And of course, with our family support groups, it's similarly modeled where folks can come and support each other. If they're family members who are supporting a loved one with a mental health condition, that's a really powerful way for folks to get to recharge and to hear feedback from others who have been there. Like again, similarly to peer support groups. And we also have some hybrid groups, which are both a mix of peers and family members. So our spiritual support group, we were actually one of the first affiliates to actually start this spiritual support group here in the East Side, which it's currently led by one of our awesome volunteers, Joe Stevens, who also does Safe Talk for us. And that group, it really focuses on using spirituality, whatever that looks like for you, to support your recovery, and support your loved one if you're supporting somebody with a mental health condition. And we also have bilingual programs that we just started over the last couple of years, led by folks with lived experience who are also bilingual in Spanish. So we have our Mamas Latinas group, which is for mothers who speak Spanish and want to find supports, as well as a new support group focusing on supporting a loved one with neurodivergence, either that, you know, autism or Asperger's, being on the spectrum. So supporting family members who are supporting a loved one with those conditions. And also we have it's not a typical support group, but it's something new led by one of our AmeriCorps members, Hannah. She developed a program to integrate arts into a space where folks can talk about mental health. That's something that we've really found a lot of value in, especially in our bilingual programs. But this, I think, is generally true for everybody, which is that if you create a space where folks can, you create a low barrier for folks to come together and do an activity, whether that's eating food or creating arts or something along those lines, you really reduce those walls that people put up about talking about mental health. And so our Creative Minds program happens, I think, on the second Tuesday of the month here at the Together Center in person. We have different art forms that we are utilizing. We've done some drawing as part of that. We're going to integrate some music sessions in the future, including one of our board members, Akash, will be bringing his sitar and leading a meditation as well, which is very cool. That'll be in August. So we are, as a independent organization within NAMI. It's like really the beauty of the alliance is that we're able to develop and utilize the skills and expertise within the community to find new ways of supporting each other and developing programs that are supportive of folks' mental health. So, a great way, as Emma said, to get involved is coming up this Saturday at NAMI Walks. It's a opportunity to support NAMI Eastside and our NAMI Alliance across Washington State, financially, but I think more importantly is just to come together and to celebrate the community that we have at NAMI, by walking together to raise awareness around mental health. That is one of the most powerful things that we can do as advocates for mental health, is really just talking about it. I often say that the power of NAMI and what we do is our ability to empower folks to tell their story. That's how we end stigma around mental health conditions and really help folks find the resources they need so that they can live the best lives they can for themselves. And that ultimately will save lives. So you can take that first step or several this Saturday at our NAMI Walks, and join us at Magnuson Park in Seattle this year, and we'd love to have you. And then I'll just do another plug here, shameless self-promotion, which is we have our ongoing adult mental health first aid classes. And so those are happening quite regularly now, thanks to the support of our AmeriCorps members. We have another couple coming up in June, one at Sammamish Library this Sunday, June 1st, and that is in person. Actually, all of our mental health first aid classes are in person. And we have a couple of other ones coming up as well that have been scheduled through the summer. We really think this is an important class for folks to participate in. We offer it free, no charge to the community to participate. We welcome support if folks are willing to contribute in that way, but we really just want to have more mental health first aiders out there to help deliver on our mission of supporting folks and helping folks get the resources they need to live the lives that they would like to live.
So now that you have heard about these programs, I hope that it inspires some folks to get involved. And one great way to do that is through volunteering with us. There are a lot of different volunteer opportunities for community members to get involved in. One great way, as pictured here, is to attend our tabling events. We love to go to resource fairs, farmers markets, any type of event in the community where other community resources will be there. We love to be there. A great way to share this information is by attending a tabling event, talking to folks in the community, hearing about their concerns, and sharing what offerings we have. So that is one way to be involved as a volunteer. However, as you saw earlier, our staff is small but mighty, as I say, and we offer a lot of different programs. We truly could not do it without our volunteers. Our support group facilitators are volunteers. The people who support a lot of these programs do it just because they're passionate about sharing about mental health, ending the stigma, and supporting their community. So if any of these programs or were listed and you thought, wow, that sounds really interesting. I'd love to be a part of that. You can absolutely participate in these programs. And because we are flexible and able to create new types of programming as the community needs and sees fit, if you see a gap in any of our programming and you would like to create a new support group or you would like to tell your specific story through our educational presentations, please sign up to be a volunteer. We really value that storytelling and the individual experience that comes from the different people in our community that they're able to share through lived experience. So we have upcoming opportunities, especially this summer. We'll be tabling at a few different Pride events as well as farmers markets across East King County, and so those are really great ways to get involved, meet folks, meet the staff, and learn more about NAMI and the impact. So now, how can you find us? How can you get a hold of us? So three really easy ways is, of course, our website. Here you can find information about upcoming events, about volunteering, as well as the calendar, including when our different support groups are meeting. So if you'd like to know how you can attend specific support groups, we have some that meet in person and some that meet virtually. And there is no requirement to pre-register other than the Zoom meetings, which will just ask for a quick registration so that you can be sent the link in order to attend the support groups. So you can absolutely find that on our website. We also have a office phone number that you can call if you have any questions about programs that are happening, or if you're curious about anything, resources, etc., you can absolutely give us a call. And we also have our general email. If you're not sure which staff member to get in contact with, you can always send an email to info@nami-eastside.org and it'll get directed to the correct staff member. As Marc mentioned earlier, we are housed in the wonderful Together Center along with many other incredible community serving organizations and nonprofits. So if you've never been, I highly encourage you to come check it out just to see what the space is like. But we are, yes, located in Redmond. The Together Center carries different hours, but our hours at NAMI Eastside are Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The team is remote on Fridays, so you can definitely still reach us by phone and email. We just won't be in person on Fridays. So with that, I will take a pause. For any folks who have questions, you're welcome to place those in the chat and we can respond. Or if you're comfortable, you can come off mute and share your question. As a reminder, this is being recorded, so it's absolutely fine if you're more comfortable placing that in the chat or reaching out to us with questions after.
Hi, Lisa. I'm interested in your Creative Minds art for mental wellness program for my daughter. Is there an age limit or age range for that,
Yeah,
for any of
great
the
question.
programs?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we currently have an age limit.
Nope, there is no age limit for that program.
Okay, I don't know how I happened upon your services, but I'm gonna try to see you there on Saturday.
Awesome. Well, we love it when things work out like that, Lisa. So it's so good to see you and having you here with us.
hmm Thank
Thank you,
you.
Lisa.
Bye.
Bye.
Just wanted to mention that in addition to all of this local programming, there's NAMI National Convention is coming up, I believe, next month in June for anyone who's interested. And this year's NAMI State Conference is at the end of September, I believe, but it's virtual. Both the National Convention and the State Convention are virtual this year.
Correct, yes. So in the past, NAMI Nationals, well, both NAMI National and NAMI Washington's conferences have been in person, other than, of course, during the pandemic. And so this year they will both be moving to virtual to hopefully be more inclusive and hopefully more folks can participate and attend as well.
All right. And with that, thank you for spending your evening with us. Thank you for attending this month's Evergreen Health Forum. We really appreciate your support. We hope that this was helpful in learning more about what NAMI Eastside is and what we do. So, as a reminder, if you would like to attend future Evergreen Health Forums, we meet virtually over Zoom every last Tuesday of the month. And yes, Mark just placed a registration link for NAMI Walks, which will also be sent out in email to all registrants and folks who attended. So feel if you're worried about saving it, we'll send it to you. But please do, engage in programs and services as you see fit. We really love working with new community members, and I hope that this was helpful for folks. So, again, if you'd like to participate in future Evergreen Health Forums or you have a suggestion for what topics we should cover in the future, please go to our website. There is a form to submit potential topics, or if you know someone you think would be great to speak, please reach out to us. And other than that, we will see you on the last Tuesday of June for our next Evergreen Health Forum. Have a good night.